We love hip
Let's
hop.
get this popping here. I got my guest who is waiting in the waiting room right now. He has been blazing these YouTube streets. He's been doing this thing for a while. From when I've done a little bit of research for over 10 years in the YouTube space. To me, has been giving some real objective points of view when it comes to this whole Drake and Kendrick battle and shit that people just can't get over for some reason. You know what I'm saying? And, like myself, has shared in his share of controversies. So we have, with no further ado, Top 5 Troy, aka Top 5 rap website in the building.
You already know what's going on. You already
What
know.
is popping, bro? Hold on,
good,
let me
man?
give you some air horns and stuff like that. I'm a little bit late on my sound effects.
Okay, yeah. All that. Give me all the extras. All the extras. You already know.
Welcome. We've been keeping up with a lot of news that's been happening in real time. You know what I'm saying, especially over there on the West Coast. So I want to ask you some questions just to get to know you a little bit better, and then we'll open up the conversation and get into a little bit of some topics if you got some time.
Yeah, I got time.
Hope you're enjoying the video. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm, and join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. All right. So, okay. I'm looking at your channel. I see the first video was like 13 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was probably like when I was in high school. What is it? What's the video? The Watch the Throne review?
I can pull it up. We're on live stream, man. That's the beauty of live stream. Let's pull up your channel here. What I want to know while I'm pulling up the channel is what got you into just making YouTube videos in the first place. Let's start there.
Well, the thing is, like my website, top5rapwebsite.com, like this is older than my YouTube. I never wanted to be on video. I came up during the blog era. So I had me a little website, a little blog type thing where I'll just talk about new rappers, West Coast rappers, stuff like that. But then the space gradually moved to video format. So that's where I ended up going. That's where the conversation went. So that's where I went.
What made you want to do the website in the first place then?
It was the blog era. So this is like when I was in high school. Yeah, I'm looking at the channel. You got to put it up. Yeah, this is before the facial hair. I might have been like 15, 16 years old. But even like on that very first video, you could see in the background, I got the Tyler, the Creator poster. I got a whole bunch of just excerpts from WLHH to Source and all type of stuff.
Some people is Troy.
So, today this is before the bass and the voice. This is before the facial hair and the bass and the voice. So it was a blog era. So that's what made me want to do the website, because everyone had their blogs and stuff. So I was like, let me put mine up.
So like, did you just always have aspirations to want to get into the media game? Because there's people who want to be rappers first before they get into media.
Yeah, I got rap songs up. If you look deep enough in my YouTube, you could find some of my songs. I got a SoundCloud like with a couple songs, but I just never had the equipment. Like I would rap directly into my MacBook, like no microphone. So all my songs sound like shit. But yeah, I grew up on the Source. My dad used to have the Source to XXL magazines. And at the very back, it will be all the album reviews. So to me, this is the most interesting part of the magazine. I'll be like, what is the album? How do you even review an album? I'm like 6, 7 years old. Yeah. It's like, how does someone review an album? And then I just started listening to the albums they were reviewing. That's what I started doing. Now my channel is not really album review focused. Just the way things have gone. But most of my channel, I have like 800 plus videos. Most of them are just album reviews. So that was my whole thing.
And with you, just from the I see from your demeanor, right?
Yeah.
You don't seem like you're on some gangbanging ass shit, unless I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, that's my family. I grew up where I grew up. I was born at MLK Hospital in Watts. I grew up on 87th and Central, Crenshaw and 63rd. So the people who know, you can do the math. That's my family. I was always told to stay out of that stuff. By my family in the streets and by my family who was in prison, they will all be like, nah, you're not gonna do this, you're gonna go on another route. So yeah.
Yeah, because I've always wondered when people come from different parts of Los Angeles, how do you stay out of the gang shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, your people's told you, did you ever have like that little urge when you were young to, let me fuck around and do some bad shit and like join the gangs and shit?
Yeah, I feel like unfortunately a lot of younger black men, they don't have positive male role models. Me,
Mm-hmm.
I had positive male role models. My dad, and I got like 5, 6 uncles.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So they wasn't gonna have it. So that type of thing never even came in my mind. Now, obviously, when I was in school, my friends were in gangs, like they did what they did, but everybody always knew what was up with me. This is just not what I do. So I think a
Yeah.
lot of people lack that positive male, and through no fault of their own, they lack that positive male influence. I didn't lack that. So it never was even something that crossed my mind. My thing was I'm me. And obviously being in a gang and being in some of these areas, it's more beneficial. I mean, the girls like you more popular, like you got more friends. But I was always like, I'm me. This is what I do. Y'all do what y'all do.
Yeah, and I also heard you speak on a recent video about how you used to hang around with multiple different crews, like different types of crews in high school. Like you were diverse in your friend group. Can you talk about that a little bit, man?
Yeah, I never like you probably notice if you watch my channel. I'm not like a group person, right? Even in college, I was in a fraternity. I deactivated. I left the fraternity after like a year or a couple months. I'm just not
Mm,
a group type person. And so in high school and just in school in general, I just had different friend groups that for me they gave me different value, these different friend groups. And to me it was never a big issue, but sometimes people find issue with this. Why are you hanging out with them? Why are you hanging out with them? I don't answer to y'all, man. No, I don't answer.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I think that kind of translated more into like the way that you do your content as well. You know what I'm saying? You've been pretty even keeled even when it came to the battle. All right.
yeah. Yeah, I think one thing that you'll take from me is, or just the, not just you personally, but the just the viewers, it comes across very strongly that I don't really care about being liked. And I think
Mm,
that's something that translates into like real life, like who I am actually in real life. There are people who watch my YouTube who in the comments who actually know me from wherever they know me from.
yeah.
I just don't care about being liked. And I think it comes across very strongly.
Dude, there's this video that I want to bring up here.
Yeah.
And we'll pull up the screen. We'll pull
Let's
up
do
the
it. We
screen.
getting into the mess already? What are we doing?
Yeah. We get into the mess early over here, man. Um, the video that really started to like it was about 9 months ago. You've had other videos that have gained attention, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
This compilation of Meg the Stallion freestyles did really well.
Yeah, that was like my first big video. Really the Vlad one, but that didn't really do numbers like that. That got probably like 50, 60K.
Yeah, that's the one that got you blocked by Vlad.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out
Right?
Vlad, man.
Salute
Unblock
to
me.
Vlad. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unblock Troy, man. Troy's a good guy, man.
Yeah,
But this video
appreciate you.
right here,
Yes, sir.
Drake's Kendrick disaged terribly.
Yes, sir.
Can we get
Gonna
into
let
it?
it die down. Nah, 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 no.
Like
This time we're
forward
going on.
through, yeah. So this is about 9 months ago. This is June. What was out by this point? This is already not
This
like
is
us right now.
this is the end of everything. Like in terms of the Kendrick and Drake beef, everything had already been over.
Yes, because you spoke about Heart Part 6 in this as well.
Yeah, this is like months after everything ended. So yeah.
So what was the temperature like once that video came out, as far as like the audience that was starting to the influx of audience that was coming onto your channel?
Well, for me, it was just an exciting time. Y'all can see I got 17K. For the amount of people who talk about me on YouTube, like I was watching, somebody sent me some stuff today. It's like these random people just like talking about my channel. So
Mm,
the I think I'm known, but when you look at the subscribers, it's not that many subscribers, 17K. So this video was a big moment for me because I went from like maybe 6 or 7 thousand subscribers to like 12,000 in like a matter of days. And I had never seen my subscriber count double off that on a video. And the Kendrick and Drake stuff, this was something I had been reporting on already. Like,
mm.
and like I said, this is not during the Kendrick and Drake beef. This is after it already happened. So for me, I was just breaking down the bars. And it just went up for some reason. I don't know what about it. I remember I posted the video like on a Tuesday at like 1 a.m. because I'd be sleeping like hella super late. And then I checked it at like 3 a.m. right before I went to sleep, and it had like 1,400 views. I was like, okay, this might do something.
Yeah.
Then I wake up the next morning like at 8 a.m. and it was like at 25K. And I was like, oh. Then later that day I checked again. It was like at 70, 100, 2, 3. So it just went up.
Now, as far as with the comments, right? Let's dissect this a little bit.
Let's dissect it.
With the comments, were they more of a Drake-friendly audience or a Kendrick-friendly audience?
Oh yeah, this is a straight up Kendrick-friendly audience, which I would like to think I'm a Kendrick-friendly channel. Like Kendrick is one of my favorite rappers, top 5 for sure, top 3 more than likely. Kendrick, Jay-Z, Lupe. So this is definitely a Kendrick-friendly audience in the comments.
So, and just to clarify that again, all right, just for the people who might in the back who might have not heard that, who are your top 3 favorite rappers?
Yeah, Jay-Z, Kendrick, Lupe, no particular order.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that was
yeah. For people in the back,
right? Because like myself, Kendrick is one of my favorite rappers too. But then at some point in time, the shift started happening where the Kendrick audience started turning on myself, and I seen you having the same issue.
Yeah.
Can we pinpoint when you think that stuff started happening, man?
So here's, and I'll answer the question by like giving an example. And my channel has always been like this, right? When I listen to a song or an album, I'm thinking multiple things. Like I may hear a Kendrick song and I may be like, man, I really like this beat. This producer always has like these interesting bass lines. Kendrick has like this kind of punchline setup that he's done in his past couple songs, but I don't like how he does the ad libs this way. Like I have multiple thoughts about one song, and then I'll create multiple videos off of these individual thoughts based off one idea, based off one song. Right. So some of those videos are going to be positive because I'm complimentary towards Kendrick, and then some of the videos are going to be less than complimentary. Very early on, this was never an issue on my channel until recently. I'm always critical, like I review music, so everything's if you're watching a music review or reaction channel, and they just are in love with everything, how can you trust them? Like, why would you even watch them? You're not even getting an honest opinion, and they just love everything, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, this is something I noticed recently. I've always been like critical of many artists, but recently people just cannot take Kendrick criticism, even if it's like, for instance, and this wasn't even criticism. This is at the Pop Out show. Kendrick comes out, he does Euphoria. He skips, like he says something in that first verse 2 times, and he skips the part. Like he thinks he's on the second part, but he's still in the first part. So he skips like a whole part of Euphoria. And I just pointed it out. And then this is not even a criticism. I think I said it in the context like, yo, Kendrick put one hand on Ab-Soul and rapped 616 in LA perfectly, which is a very difficult song to rap. It's like boom, boom. The bars are just coming 100 miles an hour. I said he put one hand on Ab-Soul, rapped it flawlessly, but he messed up like the first part of Euphoria, like how that's funny type beat, you know? But people just couldn't tell. He didn't mess up. He did it purposely because Jay Prince was in Texas at 7 p.m. Like, so I started to realize, because I've criticized. You can go watch my what is that Baby Keem and Kendrick song called? Family Ties.
Family Ties. Yeah.
Yeah. This is before my channel even went up like this. I don't like that song. And I really don't like Kendrick Lamar's recent music videos. And I talk about this in those reactions from years ago. There was never like an uproar until recently. Now when I say something less than savory about Kendrick, there's like this huge, I don't know what people think because I don't watch their channel. I don't watch their channel, but I can tell there's like a negative furor about it in the hip hop content space. So, which leads to, like I said earlier, I was watching something. Someone sent me a clip of like these 2 random people just talking about my channel. That's where a lot of that stems from. So it's weird.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I guess you're in a weird position because you are in LA.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So do you get you're not being on code? Hope you're enjoying the video. do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I get that. I get that. They say I'm not on code. What else do they say? I just respond, you're right, I'm not on code. I'm on my code. Again, I don't know what y'all got going on over there. Like, so, and what they say is, oh, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not kinfolk. You're not my family. I don't know you. I don't know y'all. So you're right. I'm not on code, and we're not kinfolk. It's facts.
Well said, man. Now, just to get a little bit deeper into what was going on out here, because
Yeah, let's go all the way.
I like to get mixy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do too a little bit.
We have a mutual friend or a mutual colleague.
Really?
Matt from What's the Dirt.
Oh yeah. Shout out Derek. Derek McGirt. What up?
Right? We've both had our share of I caught a couple of strays from a video, and from in the form of deleted.
Okay.
And
shout deleted.
Right. There was I seen you were reacting the other day to one of my videos when I had a conversation with Curtis King.
Yeah. I was wondering if that was you.
That was me.
Okay. Confirmed.
Right. So now, what happened, man? Can we get to the meat and potatoes of this whole beef, man? And like, how did you get wrapped up in this shit, bro?
I don't know. I actually do know. I just refuse, because again, this whole, and the way you're posing these questions is perfect because they naturally flow into the next thing that you're asking. So it's
I try.
Yeah, I can tell you planned this out. So very good job. So I just answered the question about how these new influx of Kendrick fans, they're kind of different from the ones I had before. So like, I think people, again, I don't watch a lot of hip hop content on YouTube unless it's like an interview. Like I'll watch Vlad, I'll watch like if you're doing interviews or documentary style type content, I'll watch it, but I don't just watch channels like mine, people talking about hip hop. I just don't watch it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not seeing a lot of the things that's happening, and all this stems from Company Man, What's the Dirt. I'm not seeing a lot of things that's happening. All I know for me is I know Company Man, he's cool people.
Salute.
I know What's the Dirt, he's cool people. So
Salute. There's
like this, I guess there was this movement forming against What's the Dirt. And I wasn't on code, and I guess I refused to take a side. And so people take that as, I don't know how they take it. You gotta ask them people, man. Like, it is what it is.
There was one discrepancy that I think people were having as well when it came to that, right?
Yeah.
It was during the time when he was trying to find out who deleted was, and KB goes live.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
All right. I guess that's more intricate than you were even paying attention, because you say you don't even watch people's shit. You know
even you, like you just said, like when I reacted to your Curtis King interview, I didn't even know that was you. I seen you hit me up on Instagram, and I had to double back. Like I scanned your page. I remember your channel because I think Company Man was on here and he shouted me out, but he couldn't remember the name of the channel because it was too long, and then I shortened it. Like I really didn't even couldn't connect who you were until I really like focused and doubled back. So I don't be seeing the thing you're talking about. I like Deleted channel. Shout out Deleted. Fat Nigga Season. Fat Nigga Coin. I actually don't know if that's deleted. It sounds like them though. But shout out Deleted. I've said it many times. Shout out What's the Dirt. Shout out Company Man.
So can you be objective in this hip hop space? Is that a thing? And I'm not even saying you. Can we be objective in this hip hop space?
Objective? How you mean?
Well, I'm from Toronto, so people are always going to be like, yo, you got some kind of allegiance to Drake or whatever. He follows my page. I speak to him behind the scenes. So it's not like but when I do have a problem with something that he does, I'll come here on my live stream, my podcast, wherever, and I'll say I pull no punches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also with you on another coast over there in the West Coast, you should be expected to always be on the Kendrick side of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't even know
Is
if
it
it's
possible to have content and completely be objective without having these problems?
see, I don't even know if it's like the West Coast expecting me to be a certain way. I think
Mm,
it's just people who are, and I don't even know if it's just Kendrick fans or stands, I should say. I think it's people who are just super into like these YouTube, they're in the discords of this guy that like if you watch the comments, a lot of us share commenters, like they are just very super deeply into their pack, their hive mind on YouTube, and they
mm.
expect you to follow. I don't even think it's a West Coast thing, honestly, because I just don't feel that. I don't go outside and feel like people say what's up to me. Like I don't feel like people are expecting me from a West Coast perspective. I think it's like it's a mix between like a Kendrick and like just a chronically online YouTuber. You should think how everyone else thinks type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I got attacked the other day by Drake fans on Twitter, and I didn't realize because I've been getting attacked by Kendrick fans for so many months that I didn't realize that there was a whole other side of toxicity that I didn't unlock. You know what I mean? Until I said something anti-Drake on Twitter. Like I went on a rant. I forgot what it was, but they
Oh,
came
yeah.
for me. Have you ever experienced the
Wait,
other
what you
side?
say? What you say though? What you say?
I went on a rant about having a lack of OVO artists on my platform. We've been
Okay.
doing this for about 8 years. I've had at least 400 to 500 interviews with different Toronto artists.
Mm.
Okay, we've been tapping in with Toronto artists forever, and just strangely enough, no OVO artist.
Hmm. Why do you
Right?
think that is? Why do you think that is? I know you have a theory.
Oh, hold on.
Ex-
I think I might have pissed off a few people because
Mm.
I'm objective.
Mm.
Right? Like I've ranted anti Drake and pro Drake before. You know what I'm saying? That's why I get into different circles where people are like, yo, you're the Drake guy. Give us your opinion on Drake. But in other
Mhm.
times, I'm like, yeah, bro, I didn't like that. That was stupid. I'm sorry. I got to be me, man.
And you would think that people value that type of person. If you just got a yes man around you, how could you value that? Like you would think someone who, especially someone like Drake or someone who's an executive at OVO, you would think they value a person who can be objective, respectfully disagree, respectfully tell you where you might be going wrong, as opposed to just a yes man, which you can find yes men everywhere. But I guess people don't value that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's
Hmm.
the only thing. You know, even with Toronto over here, have you are you tapped in any way to our scene?
Toronto is the only place I've been to internationally. I only really
Really?
travel around California, but I went to grad school on the East Coast
Mm-hmm.
in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So Toronto was like a very quick flight. And I actually went out there. I stayed at the what are those towers near the arena, the Toronto Raptors? I think they were called the Ice Towers at the time.
Okay. Yeah,
Then
yeah,
I
yeah,
went
yeah.
to a basketball game. I actually saw Drake. Drake came to the basketball game. I think it was like the Raptors versus the Blazers. But other than that, I don't really know anything about Toronto except for Drake, Cardinal, Official, John Rivers, because of What's the Dirt, and that's it.
Wow, man, that's sad, man. Not
Why is that sad?
it's sad because we're not doing our part then. We're not doing our part
Okay.
to make sure that we create the attention that we need so that people from all over could at least know a few underground rappers. Because you're
Yeah,
not
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about Toronto.
yeah,
Oh,
you're not
I know there's a guy
saying
named Top 5. There's a guy named Top 5 out there. So I know we share a pseudonym, but that's about it.
yeah, 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 yeah. And you know what? He has heavy SEO on my channel, so it was kind of like a two for whatever.
Nice.
But let me ask you a couple more questions here, man, because
Yeah.
you are on the West Coast, right? And there's
Uh-huh.
this been this whole thing of the Rolling 60s Rico, but I didn't see you cover it. Do
Yeah.
you stay away from certain topics because you're on the West Coast or
Absolutely.
because you're in LA
Bro, like,
specifically?
yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not a game out here, man. Like, you know, I could be targeted. I could be targeted. Like, it's very easy to find me. I could be
Yeah.
targeted. Like, and I'm not gonna even go into that. But some of these gangs, like, they're extremely big. and some things are just better left to the other people. We already got people to cover that. Flacco is going to do a great job covering that. Academics is going to do a great job. Trap Laura Ross, bro. Flacco posted his earnings, his YouTube earnings on Twitter. This dude made like 40K in like 28 days, the last 28 days on YouTube. He can get up and get up out of here if he need to. I'm not about to put myself in a line of fire, in a literal line of fire. That's not what I'm gonna do.
Well, one thing I will ask you on it though, and it's just more not an intricate in the intricacies of the paperwork and stuff like that, but the podcasting, right? Like we just chopped it up about a bunch of stuff, but we ain't talking about gang shit. You know what I'm saying? Has that become too much of a trend on these podcasts?
I mean, if they're willing to talk about it, the people seem willing. I mean, the people involved, some of them, I would say, they seem willing to talk about it. So, and people seem interested. The audience seems interested to hear it. So someone's going to platform it at the end of the day.
Well, on the flip side of that question, whose fault is it now? Is it the people who platform them, or is it the guests themselves? Because we've been having this debate for a while now.
I think it's up to the individual. You can go, like I went on No Jumper last month. We talked about music, and this is something they really don't do on No Jumper like that. We talked about music. We did hip hop trivia, which I won. I beat Lush. Shout out to Lush in hip hop trivia. And Lush, this was your era. You got about 15 years on me. They didn't ask nothing from the 2010s. They asked about your era. I still got the W. But they wanted to talk about Lil Meech also and like other things. And I stayed out of it. They asked my opinion. I said, yo, that's Lil Meech, that's Big Meech. I hope they work it out as a family and move on. So it's up to the individual to talk about what they're going to talk about at the end of the day. Now, I think a lot of these individuals know, though, if they don't come on and talk about what they're expected to, it's like, why else do we have you up here? You have nothing else to offer.
Yeah.
Like, we're bringing you here for a specific reason. We've already probably given you some of the questions we're going to ask you. If you just refuse to answer the questions, why are you even here? So I think I don't know. People are trying to get out the streets. People are trying to find different avenues, but I think they're learning this may not be the best way to go and talk about it on the internet.
Yeah, because it even goes beyond the podcast and stuff like that too, man. You'll see maybe people jump on a podcast and talk some shit, but then guys will pick up their own phone, put it up on a stand, and talk shit for like half an hour on a live stream on their own Instagram live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or if you're gonna do something like that, make it fabricated. Like we've heard these stories about guys fabricating beefs, like they're both in on it, but they're doing it for the internet. Do something like I'm not a street guy. I just don't understand going on and talking about things that are still within a statute of limitations. So, but again, that's not my lane. So
yeah,
shout out to them boys.
Well, I'll ask you, just in closing of our conversation, right? Because there's all these different things happening, Ricos all over the place, and not just with the West Coast, right? Like Lil Durk, a bunch of people, Yellow Beezy, a bunch of people are getting locked up. All right. The Drake and Kendrick beef is a year old now.
Yeah. I think it's the 1 year of like that today or something like that.
Something like that. Where do you think the algorithm goes next as far as like what's going to be the thing that is going to get everybody's attention? Because like a lot of those things have brought a lot of us content creators together, including the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Yeah. I think it stays. The more Drake and Kendrick drop music, it's going to be like the Jay-Z and Nas thing. How we still talk about this. We still talk about Jay-Z and Nas to this day. Maybe not as much right now because Kendrick and Drake is the thing, but we're 1 year removed from the whole beef, and that's a long time, but it's also a short time. This is going to be something that's always going to be attractive to the hip hop eye. I think it's going to be like a Jay-Z and Nas. It's going to be like there's really nothing else in hip hop you can compare it to. It's the biggest rap battle of all time. So as far as where the algorithm moves next, I think negativity is always going to be negativity, or like hit pieces, or like anything like that. That's what the people want. I say this as someone who did, until recently, I had like 700 videos all album reviews. My channel didn't start going up until I covered the beef.
Yeah.
People like negativity, and that's just the way it is. So that's where the algorithm's going to go. If it's not a rap battle, it's going to be, what can we expose about this person? Whether it's a streamer, a fellow YouTube content creator, a rapper, someone that's an athlete, it's just going to be focused around negativity in some way. That's what I think. Rico's like the thing nowadays is the content creators who know how to go and pull court files and read the court cases and then explain it to the audience very succinctly and summarize it. So you like bringing up someone's paperwork, which I think is like, you could view it as negativity, I guess. That's the thing, right? So
yeah, it's useful. Last question.
Let's do it.
Do you think we're gonna get a round 2?
I think between Kendrick and Drake, right?
Yeah.
I think they're always gonna take little pot shots at each other and little subliminals that you could really say maybe it's not. Maybe this is a shot, maybe it's not a shot, but I think they're always gonna like throw back and forth with each other. I think also they'll eventually piece it up.
Oh shit, man.
I think that's the grown man thing to do. I think the same way Jay-Z and Nas did. I think nothing in this Kendrick and Drake beef was even that bad. I think the content creators made it a lot deeper than what it was. But you know, the Jay-Z and Nas, they went on stage and shook hands. And there was actual women involved. There was actual like, yo, I chased you out the studio that one day, and your Bentley, I left condoms on your baby's car seat. There was nothing like that in Kendrick and Drake. Kendrick and Drake was just name calling
and fabricated bullshit. But bro,
yeah, on both sides, yeah, facts.
You know why I had that reaction?
Why?
Because people try to chop my head off for this take. I said by 2035. Kendrick Lamar and Drake will have a picture together, arm over each other. Yo, we pieced it up. Song coming soon or something.
Song coming soon. That'll be the biggest song in rap history. And I've said this take on my channel before, and then what the people say is, oh, well, Kendrick will never do that. He's already said he doesn't deal with these types of people. And I'm like, okay, y'all are acting like, yo, people get punched out in rap beefs. Like people's family get, didn't Tony Yayo slap someone's son? Like, yo, yes. All types of things happen in rap beef. Things get physical. People die. None of this really happened in Kendrick versus Drake. It was just name calling. So the idea that I think just as grown men, and these people are supposed to be for the culture. They're supposed to be for the culture. You should want to see them piece it up because that calms on both sides. That calms for when Drake comes to LA, which he's going to have to do. I don't think he's done a show in LA since. I mean, that's going to be hopefully everything is settled by then.
Yeah.
And that's going to calm it for when Kendrick, like these guys don't have to be best friends. Them piecing it up is more so for the guys who will actually do something on both sides. And it kind of just like Jeezy and Gucci Mane, right? They piece it up at the verses that they done. Mm-hmm. Someone got actually offed in that whole situation. Yep. But they still went up, shook hands. Did they look each other in the eye? Maybe not. But I bet for Gucci's henchmen and for Jeezy's henchmen, that kind of just quelled the tensions a little bit. That's what it's for. It makes things a little bit easier in Atlanta for everybody. It's the grown man thing to do.
See, this is why I had to have you on here, Troy, man. You are a sensible man. You know what I'm saying? You just seem even keeled. You ain't trying to start no shit. You know what I'm saying? You're a better man than me when it comes to that, but you just seem like a cool cat, bro. So I mess with the opinions that you've been given here, man. Don't let anybody talk no shit against you, bro. And keep doing your thing, fam.
Yeah, thank you. Gotta have some haters. I appreciate you giving me the platform, though. I appreciate that. Shout out to Toronto.
No, salute to you. Anything that you want to plug before you get out of here?
Just youtube.com/top5 Troy. We dropping videos. I try to drop a lot of videos, but I get busy at work sometimes. But I try to drop a couple every week. So be on the lookout.
Okay. Well, listen, bro. We'll tap in behind the scenes, man. Thank you for this, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. Deuces.
Peace.
We love hip hop.
If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.